All right, you are Samuel Smith. Mr. Smith, you're wanted out of the state of Louisiana, particularly St. Landry Parish, for possession of methamphetamine and cocaine. You're waiving formal extradition, right? Okay, you need to understand that even though you have waived extradition today, the 14 days doesn't start ticking until you take care of your case upstairs, until you either plead to that case or you make bond on that case. While you have made bond on it, the 14 days is told, meaning it doesn't start ticking until you either take care of it or you make bond. Do you understand? Do you have any questions? Are you waiving formal extradition, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Smith. I need, if you don't mind, one more. Who's your guy, Alan? Okay, please. All right. Good morning, Mr. Abraham. Mr. Abraham, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 9 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You now will be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You also need to understand that this is an enhanceable offense. If you continue to pick up theft cases, at some point that will hit you with a felony offense, and then you're looking at years instead of days. You understand?
Yes,
you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
sir.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? How do you plead to the offense of theft? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes, but I didn't say that much, $2,000 worth of anything.
No. What is a theft? You're charged with theft. I'll be giving you the range of punishment.
Oh, right.
Okay, so you've worked out a deal, 3 days in jail, credit for the 9 days. What is it? Is it a Walmart? Their problem also compounding this is you will not be getting out today because you have picked up an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Your bond is set at $10,000. So until you make that bond, you're kind of stuck in there.
I'm seeing Timberwood Shopping Center. I know there's a specs there, but I think it's like a shopping mall, so.
That's where the theft is from.
It is a dollar store right there. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
is it true or untrue?
Yes, sir. True.
Okay, we wish you the best of luck. All right.
Right, thank you.
Okay, Stephen, thanks. All right. Okay. Mr. Cedillo.
Judge, I'm approaching on Jerry Cuello.
Okay,
I feel like I've been here a lot on Mr. Cuello.
no,
I know, but I did just get the report, and he reported to me as well. He's doing good with his dip courses, and he's on top of those.
he's smoking marijuana.
Judge,
Come up, Mr. Cuello.
last time he was here, he did indicate that he would probably still test residual because he was a heavy user.
It's continued to happen.
I just asked Judge if you give him, he reports to me that he stopped. And if we just drug test him maybe next week.
Fine, I'll give you a week. No,
I've been,
stop. I will give you the week. If you continue to test positive, that means that you've continued to smoke. And we're not going to do this when your case is as old as it is.
yes, sir.
I'll see you back in a week. I'm going to test them in a week. And we'll go from there. I will
Appreciate
give
it,
you the
Judge.
benefit of the doubt.
You
though.
can't do
Mr.
2 weeks,
Cedillo.
sir, just because I was a heavy user. I'm not trying to lie or
No,
nothing.
your case.
I stopped. Look, honestly,
I'm not going
this
to
thing
talk to you about this, Mr. Cuello.
was the best thing.
Your case is 1,100 days old, Mr. Cuello. I'm not going to do this with you again. No. See you in a week.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. What's wrong with your leg, Mr. Thomas?
I was in a car accident.
That's why he has to go to the doctor 3 times a week at this point, and he can be able to go to jail.
You driving the car in the accident?
Yes, sir.
He was rear-ended.
I don't think he's supposed to be driving. You're not supposed to be driving. We're in the car accident.
And, the paper saying that my license was valid.
You signed an affidavit promising me not to drive. Now you're driving Now you get into a car accident. Did you have a breath test device in your
Yes.
car?
Yes. I had the portable.
No. Anytime you're to drive, you're supposed to have an interlock in your car. He is driving and he's not supposed to be driving and he doesn't even have an interlock in the car.
Device that the court had.
You're supposed to have an interlock in a car, Mr. Thomas. I'm taking you into custody today. The other thing that I'm going to do, Mr. Thomas, is that you will now be required to pay the $6,500 fee to DPS. And if you fail to pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit in jail. $100. You're now going, how much are court costs in this case? From now on, you are not my problem anymore. This DWI is going to go on your record. This now makes 2. What happens on your next one? 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. Apparently, everything that we've done with you here was not enough to get your attention. I ordered you not to drive any vehicle that didn't have an interlock. I had you sign an affidavit promising me not to drive until you had court approval and you had an interlock in your car. And you drove, you are now in an accident. You are lucky that I'm going to even follow this deal. But as a part of this deal, I want you to understand you will now be required to pay all fines, fees, court costs associated with this case. And like I said, if you fail to pay even 1 iota, every $100 that you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. You are now going to owe to the tune of around $7,000. And if you fail to pay it, every $100 is a day in jail. So you can now calculate how much you will sit in custody if you fail to pay this fee. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
At some point, we now need to reach you to tell you what you're doing is not okay because you keep and continue to do and violate court orders. Like I said, I will issue the capias on this case if you fail to pay, number 1. Number 2, you're not my problem anymore because you will be facing prison time from now on. So I truly hope that you get the fact that if you ever have substance in your body, any smell of anything funky, and you get pulled over. Have you been to the penitentiary before?
So,
How many times have you been to the penitentiary? You now are a 15 to life case if you pick up another DWI because they can use your prior pen trip to enhance you to a 15 to life if you ever pick up another DWI. Do you understand? You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. I'm now going to sentence you to 30 days in jail. How much credit does he have? He has 1 day credit. 4 days credit, or look it up. 4 days?
Yes.
Okay, 4 days credit. You will be required to pay all fines and fees and court costs. I am suspending your license. I am suspending your license for 2 years. Do not drive. Do you understand? I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care where you have to go. I don't care what you have to do. You get into a car and drive, you're going to be back here with me. And I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
yes, sir, I do.
And what are the fines and fees and costs? You now owe $6,440 that you're going to pay. How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a second offense? I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to it. Goes with you. Oh. Is it true that you had a prior DWI in here in 2021? Is it true that you had a prior aggravated assault of a family member
Yes.
in 2023? I think it's only the first one because he's doing 30 days. So just do the first enhancement. All right. It goes with you. Mr. Sanchez, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 6 that you have already done. There's no affirmative finding?
No, I don't think it's, I know you looked.
Is it a
to
family member?
It's a family member, but I don't think you have to find it in the terroristic threat, Judge.
And,
You can, but I don't think it's mandatory. I think you found it before.
well, the problem is, he probably already has one because he has an assault of a family member. Let me see, a prior assault. You need to understand a couple things, Mr. Sanchez. You have a prior assault that you pled guilty to. That assault came with an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning that you can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this. The other thing you need to understand is that if you ever pick up another assault, you will be facing 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. As far as our case is concerned, you are now charged with terroristic threat. This terroristic threat will go on your record. You need to understand that if you continue with the threats within a certain amount of time, they can hit you with another felony and you'll be looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. So if you are a violent person, if you are a person who likes to make threats, go somewhere else, because the person that's causing or help or making you lose control could land you in prison for a very long time. Do you understand?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. Give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you cannot change this. The other thing you need to understand is from now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any other cases that you pick up. Do you understand?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this offense, guilty or not guilty?
Culpable.
Guilty.
I will find you guilty and I will sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 6 J's. We will have you meet with the clerk. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
thank you.
Judge Greg is on Zoom,
Hey, Greg.
page 1.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
I'm on for Isaac Arms and complaining witness is in the courtroom. She did speak to the prosecutor. She wants the protective order, no contact lifted or at the minimum.
Come up, Mr. Arms.
Preventing harassing.
Come up, ma'am. Right here. So I would, come up. I'm not gonna bite.
No, I just. didn't know
So
where-
I want you to understand that I'm not going to lift the protective order because all things in the protective order are things that he shouldn't do anyways. And I'm gonna hold you accountable if you start acting like a fool in the free world. You start acting a fool, I will take the free world away from you. And I will do it in a second to protect every person of Harris County. I don't know what kind of relationship you guys have, but if it's the one where you're constantly butting heads, I would be very careful, because in this court order, you are not allowed to threaten, harass, use any person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. And you need to understand that conduct in and of itself can violate this court order. So if I go like this to you, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is, and it's enough to put you in jail. And I'm going to tell you now, you pick up a new case, you threaten, harass, or do anything to anyone here, you will not get any more PR bonds from us. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
So if you, I mean, life is such that you should never have to live in fear. And if you do, all you gotta do is let them know, and then there's only one place he'll end up. I don't want to talk about the case.
Yeah, no, no.
The only thing I want you to understand that there is an order for protection in your place so that you are protected.
Is it a no more type of piece of-
No.
Okay, 'cause
So-
my business works for my business, and, we're married, so it's like, we didn't know about that, and so I didn't want, we haven't seen each other because we didn't know what was going on, so my business has been closed, and I do home health care. My patients have been out of a caregiver because,
And so what I'm going to do is no threatening or harassing,
Okay.
and we will allow contact, and I will take the residential restriction off. But I want you to understand that if anything happens,
Yeah.
right? Any kind of arguments and any threats go around, any kind of assaults, anything like that.
Yeah.
He's gonna end up back in custody. I've also ordered him not to use alcohol or illegal drugs as well. And you're going to be randomly called on to take a test. If you fail to come up here and test, then your bond's going to get revoked. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
No alcohol, no dope from any source. Cakes, candies, foods, gums, energy drinks, NyQuil, Listerine, I don't care. No means no. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
We've given you a lawyer. Mr. Soros is representing you. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, likewise, we'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you have any questions?
I do not.
Do you have his cell phone, Greg? You do?
I have my client does not currently have a cell phone, but
How are you planning on
complaining witness
communicating with him?
does, the complaining witness does, and hopefully,
My wife,
Yeah, his number is in my phone, so I have two numbers on my phone, his number and my number as well.
Stay in contact. Do you understand?
I understand, sir.
Okay, all right, we'll have you sign a reset and we'll get you guys out of here. Okay.
Judge, we're looking at December 17th or the 19th.
You hear that, Greg?
I'm fine with either date.
The
And
19th.
just real quick, so is there an amended protective order that he's gonna be given
Yeah,
and signed? Okay,
yeah. Do you mind printing out the protective order?
because I don't want him
We'll
leaving
do that.
without.
No. Don't worry, Greg. We'll take care of it. We'll get it done now. And
Okay.
he's gonna be monitored through pretrial, so all the conditions will run through pretrial as well. So,
He tested positive, Your Honor.
I don't, I mean, one time in there wasn't enough? Apparently not. You're still testing positive for marijuana. Where do we go from here?
What happened? It's just tough, man. But it wasn't me, it was, can I tell you?
Secondhand smoking,
Yeah.
Yeah, secondhand smoke.
Yeah,
You
it was- it
think I
was-
believe that?
they don't want to hear it,
I
They don't
understand, I
want to
understand this. I understand that.
so just don't. want it.
When was the last couple times, before the last 2 days, when was the last, guys, when was the last time Mr. Gabaretta tested?
The last time I tested was July 30th, 2016.
It never even stopped. We took him into custody when? When did we take Cabrera in? I reinstated his bond July 10th. I let you out of jail July 10th. And you promised me that you would stop smoking July 10th. We are now in October and you still have a positive test.
Can I tell you something, sir?
Don't tell him that stuff
Oh.
about secondhand smoking. That ain't. that's
How is
not-
that gonna believe it? I understand that.
I'm,
Yeah.
try to tell me it's secondhand smoke. I don't believe it.
I understand that, sir. I understand that.
Why is it? Why are you continuing to test positive?
Because you know how it's to go to school, right? And then all the restrooms are all full of hot box smoke. And I already went to talk to my teachers about that. If I could like go to a specific restroom by myself, but they can't let me. So all the restrooms being hot box, and I just be like, instead of like if going to another restroom, I can't go anywhere because all the restrooms like upstairs, downstairs are full of smoke, and you can't do anything about it.
So every single restroom in your high school smells like pot smoke. So you
Sir, you-
can't go to the bathroom without now testing positive for marijuana.
Car-
Really?
Providence School, is it true that they have the problem with that school? San Marino is the most like ghetto school in Pasadena. That is just,
You don't go to the bathroom.
it's trying to, all right, I won't go no more.
No. It's too late now.
I'm trying to understand that.
Mr. Reyes, I don't understand. I mean, where do we go?
It's tough, Judge. It is. Well, when are you supposed to graduate?
Right, this year already, that's why I was planning, I'm still
So
going
what,
to school.
October, when in
I
December?
May, no, in May.
Oh, you
Cause,
still have.
yeah, I still
until
got it.
next year.
yeah,
Okay. All right. We're trying to get him into PTI, Your Honor. I'm sure it's gonna take about 30 days to do all the paperwork for PTI. He blew a
He
10.
can't even stay positive
that's
while
what
he's
I'm-
on bond. How in the hell is he gonna make a probation?
Yeah, I got it.
I'll show you the,
Your promises mean nothing.
I understand, that would just be quite, sorry.
We can bring him back in 30 days and test him
Yes,
again,
sir.
Your Honor.
When is the last time you smoked weed?
Just tell him the
Promise,
truth.
the last time, I'm not gonna lie, it was a month ago, like a month ago, I'm not lying. That was the last time, that's what I'm telling you. You give me 2 more weeks, I'll promise I'll be clean, because it's literally getting out of my system. I'm not lying, sir. I'll give you my word on my mom, I have a baby on the way, that's what I'm trying to push forward. Yes,
Bet.
sir.
Got
I'll
2
give
weeks,
you-
Mr.
I'll
Cabrera.
give you
You're
my
going to
word.
come here in exactly 14 days. You
Yes, sir.
take another test. If you test
You think you can?
again,
I'll put this negative, sir. I'll give you my word, because I have a baby on my way. You guys, my mom.
November 5th, you
Yes,
will
sir.
come right back here. You will take another test on November 5th.
Got it, sir.
And if you test positive again,
You think he's gonna test? It's still gonna be in his system in 2 weeks.
Oh, mom, can I tell you something?
he told me just now, I asked him to be,
It's been a month ago, so it's gonna get out because it's getting
Okay,
out of my
all
system.
right, okay.
'Cause the
2
guy
weeks
showed
will
me
be
the thing.
45 days.
The negative line was starting to show, but he said that it was still positive for him, so that's fine.
Okay,
Yes, sir. I'll give you my word.
we'll do.
see what your word is. If you test negative, I will send you on your way. If you test positive, we'll see.
I appreciate it.
2 weeks it is.
Thanks, Judge.
Hey, George.
Thanks a lot.